And here we are to the final video of this 5-part series in which I want to discuss with you the third step slash phase part of the multidimensional harmonization method, which is to awaken the soul dimension. We are now entering high ground. We are now entering mystical alchemy. We are now entering a very, very deep level of inner work that has been systematized very well by ancient Egypt. In many ways, it's considered alchemy comes from ancient Egypt. Alchemy means fertile soil. The etymological root comes from there. The concept of alchemy has been known through the medieval times as, this process of transforming the lowest frequency of metals into the highest frequency of metals. But that's fine. They had fun doing that, and it's okay to explore it in the physical world. But the deeper truth of alchemy is it is the alchemization of low frequencies within us into the highest frequencies possible. And mystical alchemy as a system of it's not a system of healing, really. It's a system of really going into ascension. They were trying to do that 5,000 years ago, through, mystery school teachings, giving your entire life to it, spending 20 years working on it in order to alchemize your process of ascension and of being able to, ascend with an intact consciousness and a full memory of your process here on earth in the body. There is a lot I could say about alchemy, but a lot of it is kind of like, how do I want to say this? It's protected knowledge. It's very, very deep mystical tools. It's foundations and, past go all the way to Hermes and the whole hermeneutics, hermetic traditions and stuff like that. I will give you a little bit of information, but basically for me, as someone that is a carrier of that knowledge and has been given that knowledge by a master alchemist to impart it to those who my heart tells me are ready to receive it. I normally work very deep one-on-one with people that choose to come into the alchemy path, that choose to go into a soul alchemy process with me. I don't take on a client for one session in alchemy work. It doesn't work like that. It's a minimum of 3 months. Generally speaking, it's much longer. I have like an advanced program I give every 2 years or so, in which I teach all the base of it. And I also work with people on a one-on-one basis between 3 months and a year. And I have alchemy students, we've been together for 4 years, and we continue to deepen the work. It's very, very powerful and very, very in-depth work. If you remember when I was talking to you about the multidimensional harmonization method, this is the part of the process in which we are alchemizing, we are working with the upper chakras. We are starting to become more and more aligned with the divine will, the divine love, and the divine mind within us. And, in order for this to really seep into the fabric, of physical, emotional, and mental reality, that's why I was explaining to you, like, having all the base work done so that you can actually embody the immensity of the light is a very good and sound practice. So please do work on aligning the body-mind connection and really expanding the sacred heart space, that sacred heart vibration. Because once we enter into this work, we are decluttering the soul. We are decluttering the higher bodies that you have that come with you when you die. Your etheric, emotional, and mental bodies, when you die, these dissolve. Their job is done. They were there for the human experience. Whatever teachings, whatever isn't resolved, whatever needs more work, whatever, wasn't completed, is kind of stored in the upper bodies after that. But these 3 lower bodies, they're done. They disintegrate. From the 4th level up, all these bodies, they stay. They're permanent. They don't They don't dissolve or die when your physical body dies. And all the alchemy work is done in these fields, specifically in the fourth and fifth field, because sixth and seventh, we're getting pretty high up there. And it's, if you're fully embodying these levels, you know, you're not doing healing work anymore. You're actually doing way deeper work. You are participating to the collective. You are participating to projects that are much, much bigger than you or your soul. You are re-entering the collective, you know, like the collectives that you come from. So in a nutshell, the alchemy work involves 5 phases. There are 5 phases to the alchemy work. And most humans spend their lives being biological robots. They're run by programs, they're run by fears, they're just big trigger reactive systems. Their ego runs the show, and they might never taste the beginning of the alchemy work. So alchemy work explains to you that there's 5 phases, but I'll just concentrate on 3 right now. There's 3 main phases: the shiny black, the shiny white, and the shiny red phases. And your goal as you start awakening is to start doing this work consciously, because as a human being before that, you go through the black, white, and red phases, but they're not shiny. They're considered dull. So the red phase is kind of like, you know, male power. The white phase is feminine power and teaching, and the black phase is the body as the vessel in which this is going on. So if you're watching this video, you're already starting your shiny black, of course. But if you get to the place where you're like, okay, is this it? Is this really it? Like, I got to work a job, and I got to get a white picket fence and a house and a dog and a car and a this and a that, and then I'm supposed to retire, and then I'll be free, and then you retire and you're like, what the F, man? Like, my life is empty. That's the beginning of shiny black phase. When you have that realization that there has to be more to life than this. Shiny black phase is something that it's been pretty rare that people go into it, like less than 10% of humanity in the past. But, you know, with these ascension waves coming in and all this work being done now, this is becoming more and more of a reality. People are waking up and they're like, there's no way I'm just going to stay stuck in all these programs, you know? So you starting to become aware that you're stuck in cultural conditioning, and, you know, like you've been socially programmed and culturally conditioned by society, culture, ancestral beliefs, you know, like the whole kit and caboodle, epigenetics, blah, blah, blah. You start coming to terms with the fact that it's like, I've got work to do. I need to wake up. So shiny black phase kicks in once you start accepting this. And it's time to start clearing out the clutter, clearing out all these things you've been holding, all these things that have been defining who you are. And this process eventually leads into your body getting to a place where it's not carrying a bunch of programs anymore. There's a lot more room in it. And then you can start entering the shiny white phase, which is about bringing your soul and your light into the world more and more, into, you know, what you came to teach, what you came to do, what you came to share, like this deep longing in your soul of contributing to the awakening of humanity. And then from there, the shiny red phase kicks in. And the shiny red phase is when we get to this place where all of a sudden we are just able to tap into our spiritual power, but there's no more need for symbols, for mantras, for journeys, there's no more need for anything, including any form of recognition from the outer world. You have come back, you know, your shiny black, that's your alchemical body, your shiny white, your alchemical soul, and your shiny red, your alchemical spirit, are now a unit, right? That is all functioning harmoniously in integrity with yourself and with your soul and your spirit. And from here, which is now we're entering like less than 3% of humanity that have ever tapped into these 3 levels. From here, you're considered awake. From here is the beginning of the vaster purpose you came here to embody. And then that's the next 2 phases of the next 2 alchemical bodies that I won't get into here. So the alchemy work has a feminine and masculine counterpart. The feminine part is done through a series of journeys into a symbolic structure that allows us to enter the fourth and fifth level of your field and actually start decluttering. Like we're extracting things that don't need to be there anymore. We are healing and reintegrating deep into your core things that have been put aside that are just kind of floating in your aura because, whatever, you got burnt as a witch and you were like, spiritual power is dangerous. And it's just kind of like floating up there. So we do all this work, and it's very, very powerful work. It feels like it's never ending, because the more you declutter your landscape, the more it expands. The more it expands, the more you're able to start tapping into the talents, powers, knowledges, everything that is in there in your higher fields that you have carried, that you have acquired through thousands of incarnations, whether as human or other life forms, even as stars or whatever. Like, all that is, my God, this is my deepest passion. I love this work so much. And I only work with like 12 people a year on this, because we go deep. We go deep, deep, deep. And I am so there for the souls that have the courage to go do this. So the feminine side is all about the inner journeying through the symbolic structure that allows us to access your soul, which is called the soul landscape. That's the feminine side. The masculine side is working with very, very advanced energetic structures and, symbols, et cetera, where we do the work in these shiny bodies, where we start doing the deep, deep extractions, where we work with the shiny black, the shiny white, and the shiny red energies in order to, really alchemize and harmonize your first three alchemical bodies so that you can start accessing the much vaster being that you are. Enter the plane of creation and the plane of the absolute, and really tap into what is it that I want to contribute as a soul, not only to humans, not only to this world, but to the entire fabric of consciousness. Like, it's like, woo! I get so excited about this. So excited about this. There's going to be testimonials somewhere on this page or on my website of people that have been working with me for multiple years. And the expansion is incredible. The ability to tap into understanding why you're here, the ability to really work with your soul and have this direct dialogue and communication with it, to really declutter not only objects and energies, but also energy beings, guides and helpers. And we are in a massive upgrade right now. A lot of the things that are living in your field that were beneficial to you, let's say, before 2012, most of it needs to be upgraded now. We need to upgrade our soul structures. We need to upgrade the energies and the frequencies that we carry. And this is some of the deepest work to do this. I've been doing Soul Alchemy Journeys for 22 years. It is still my number one modality. I still use it on a daily basis, and I couldn't imagine my life without it. So that's me talking to you about alchemy. And let me give you just a little taste of entering the soul landscape. The soul landscape presents itself as a tree and a river flowing beside it. That is the entry point through which we always enter the soul landscape. That tree represents your higher self, the vast consciousness that you are, that contains your soul, of course, but a much vaster spirit, and all of the incarnations you've ever had, all of the experiences and dimensions and realities you've ever been in. That tree represents all of that. We call it the soul tree, but it's beyond this. It's beyond the soul. And the river that flows beside it represents your vital energy, your chi, your life force. So as we start entering the landscape, our first job is just to really feel into the tree and merge with it and discover how we will learn to communicate with our soul. Will it be through, words received through the mind? Will it be through sensations and feelings? Will it be through visuals? Like, we all have different psychic skills, the way they're organized. And from this soul tree, from the main tree of the landscape, this is where any journey starts. Any journey starts from here. It always starts from here. And this little key is to make sure that you are on the right side of the river, because there is another tree on the other side of the river, which is your discernment tree. your faculty to judge and discern what is right for you, what we do is once we arrive in the landscape, we put our back to the tree and we face the river and we look at the current, the direction of the current. Is it going right to left or left to right? For those that are more advanced, that have a broader view of their landscape, there's a waterfall a little bit further. So if you can see the waterfall on the right, then you know you're on the right side because the current of the water will be going like this. The current of the water needs to be going right to left. If it's going left to right, it just means you're on the other side of the river and you need to come back to the much bigger tree on this side. So, just want to give you a little taste of this. Remember that triple heart connection? All right, that line of light, all the way from the heart of God, through you, through your heart, all the way into the heart of Gaia. Just connect to that, become aware of that, and slowly start inhaling the earth energy up through your system. Inhaling it into the root chakra. You inhale, you fill it up, fill it up, fill it up, fill it up. Exhale, you flow the energy out. And then we go a little bit higher. Inhaling into the sacral chakra. Inhaling, filling it up with earth energy. Filling it up, filling it up, filling it up. And exhale out of the front and the back of the sacral chakra. Flowing it out. So this process is for us to be very grounded in our bodies before we project ourselves into the fourth and fifth layers of our field. So inhaling into the root, into the sacral, we're filling them up. Exhaling, flowing the energy out. Inhaling up into the solar plexus. Inhaling the earth energy up into the plexus. Exhale, flowing it out front and back. You might notice that one side you feel more and all that. That's okay. It's okay. We're not going to pinpoint that right now. That's what we do in the mentorship program. But just for now, you're just bringing energy in, bringing earth energy, grounded, nurturing earth energy up through your central line, up through your chakras. Inhaling plexus, exhaling out of the front and the back of the plexus. And keep coming up. Inhaling into the heart. Filling it up, filling it up, filling it up. And exhale, flowing out the energy front and back. Inhaling, filling it up. Exhaling, flowing it out. And let's keep coming up. Inhaling up into the throat, up into the throat chakra. Inhaling that grounded, nurturing energy. Filling up, filling up, filling it up, filling it up. And exhale, flowing the energy out front and back of the heart of the throat chakra. Let's keep it up. Inhaling, come up all the way into the center of your brain. There's a bunch of glands here, all the way into the center of your brain. And we're going to do a couple things here. Inhaling, center of the brain. Exhaling like the rays of the sun, just allowing that nurturing, grounded energy to go through all of your brain structure. Inhaling into the center of the brain. Exhaling, feeding the entire brain structure with it. And we're just going to concentrate on a couple of important chakras related to clairvoyance in your head. Inhaling, center of the brain, bring all that earth energy up, and exhale out of the base of the skull. Super important chakra here. So base of the skull, exhaling out of the base of the skull. Inhaling, center of the brain, exhaling, base of the skull. Good. Inhaling, center of the brain, exhaling, back of the head. You'll see when you practice this, you'll start feeling where the exact centers are. Inhaling, center of the brain, exhaling, back of the head. Now for the crown. Inhaling, center of the brain, exhaling out of the crown. Once more. Now we're going to come to the top of the forehead. Inhaling, center of the brain. Exhaling out of the top of the forehead, just where the hairline meets. Yeah, good. And now inhaling, center of the brain. Exhaling out of the bridge of the nose. That helps to activate the pituitary glands related to the third eye. Inhale, center of the brain. Exhale, bridge of the nose. And start feeling your third eye chakra activating above your eyebrows. Taking your time. Inhaling, center of the brain. Exhaling, it's like you're walking up to your third eye. You're just going to come hang out in your forehead. From here, very simple. Imagine a tree and a river flowing beside it. There's no way it's supposed to look. It is a tree and a river flowing beside it. Imagine that, visualize that, and then inhale, center of your brain, and exhale out of your third eye into that image you're imagining, into that space between the tree and the river. You are projecting yourself out of your third eye between the tree and the river. You can spiral out of your third eye if that helps, but just land there. Land between the tree and the river. This is a landscape. It's got grass. It's a natural setting. Have fun with your imagination. And just with your back to the tree, look at the water. Make sure the current is going right to left. And if it's going left to right, it's okay. Just jump over. This is an energy world. Just jump over the river and go find the much bigger tree on the other side. So we're not going to go into a full journey, of course, because it's completely unique to each person how it looks. But this is a way for you to access your soul dimension. And from here, we explore. And there are many, many, many places to go, many buildings to visit, many areas to go. Like there's literally over 30 different places. And in 22 years, I have come to realize that there are more places. Once you've cleared a lot of the human stuff, you access much deeper places, like intergalactic and just crazy, wow, expansive stuff. But you are here at this tree. There's a beautiful river flowing. Just put your hands on the tree. Just allow yourself to feel. Just allow yourself to play here, feeling your soul. Resting here. You can even merge with the tree if you want and feel how yummy that is to be back into the body of your soul, to be back into the body of your higher self that holds your soul, to allow yourself to expand into the roots and the branches and just breathe with your heart. Yeah. Welcome home. You can play with this. You can come here and hang out with the tree, swim in the river, just come here. I used to come sit by the tree every night before I fell asleep. And you can start asking, you can start opening up the communication and asking, do you have any advice for me? And I might say things like, be love. It might say very generic things, but the more you go and the more we declutter your soul landscape, the more the information will get very, very precise. So this is the deepest work that I offer. This is why I'm here. Some of the most powerful journeys I've done were in the reproductive system, the umbilical cord, the castle of our personal power, the temple of our present incarnation, our energetic eyes, our Hera mountain, our shipyard where our projects exist. There are so many places to come explore here. And it's important to do it with someone that's got the hang of all the different things that can happen in here and how to work with, we work with frequencies of colors here to assess what's true, to determine what needs to go, what needs to be healed. And I would be very honored to support you in this process if you are so inclined to commit to this level of work. I have an application process. And as I said, when I do this work with someone, I do it over a long period of time. So if this calls to you, please understand that it's important that you do the prep work of aligning your body-mind connection and expanding your sacred heart space. But just know, if you're serious and you are able, ready, and willing to do this level of work, I'm here. This is my passion. This is what I do. Enjoy that space. Enjoy that connection. Enjoy getting to know what it's like to just be in the body of your soul, held within the higher self that you are, knowing that you're safe, knowing that this dimension is here for you, but also understanding that the more you declutter the lower fields, the more we can expand deeply and vastly into your soul dimension. I hope this little series was fun. And yeah, feel free to share. Feel free to reach out to me. Feel free to book a free 45-minute soul to soul session with me. And let's see. Let's see. Let's see where you want to go and if I can help you get there.